what's up everybody? Welcome back to this channel. So today I want to kind of go over, just some strategy around how you could actually come out of this situation, whatever you're going through, if you've been laid off, to be able to actually come out of this on top. So during this video, I'm actually going to be talking about the unemployment benefits, because with the way that they have it set up, it can actually put you on top versus you coming out and you're in a lot of debt. So as of this morning, I woke up and saw the jobless claims were actually double. It went from 281,000 to 3.3 million, and as of this morning to 6.6 million people. And I think that number is going to continue to go up. Now, I don't think that the whole situation is just that jobs are just getting rid of people, but I think a lot of them, they have to lay people off because they can't afford to pay them. So if the job is shut down right now, and they got employees, especially if they really care about them, they can't really pay them if they're not making any money. And most businesses, they don't have no emergency or pandemic funds set up for things like this, because most people don't expect to go through it. So a lot of them probably have decided to say, well, let me lay you off so that way that you can get some benefits, because if you're not laid off, then you can't get those benefits. So now here's the thing. First things first, of course, call your bill collectors, call places where you have to pay money, let them know, like, I've been laid off, I'm not working, work has slowed down, etc., whatever the case is. And so that way that they can, maybe defer your payment, or at least just communicate so they know. Most of them already understand, and a lot of these companies are still going to try to get as much money as they can during this time. I do believe all utility companies at this time are not cutting, people off or anything like that. So that kind of takes care of that. However, we're still getting billed. But first thing, yes, communicate, let them know, what's going on, etc. Now you also want to go into looking into seeing well, what can I cut off? Maybe it's something that I'm paying for that maybe right now I just need to, cut that subscription off right now, cut that service off right now, so that way you can preserve money. So see, now understand that the objective of, a stimulus bill and things like that is to really stimulate the economy. They really need you to spend money. But this is a way that you can actually take what's happening right now and take the money that's coming to you, or that you can get once things, finally go live, or whatever, the situation is with that, to where you can actually flip the script. So now the next thing you want to do is you want to be able to write down, all your bills, write down those things that you will continue to pay, that you will have to pay, etc., so that way that you can see it, because you want to keep track of everything. You don't want to get in a place to where you're not tracking, your bills or what's happening right now. You want to track everything. So you want to be able to write down, those things that you're paying, your essentials, etc. So like your mortgage, like your electric bill, your water bill, heating, whatever it is that you have, trash, just those essential things, like your cell phone bill or your internet bill, like whatever it is that you're going to continue to keep and hold at this moment. Now's a good time to just write those things down, so that way you can see exactly what's going on. And so here's the thing. So yes, people will be getting a stimulus check of $1,200, $2,400. If you got kids, then you get $500 a kids, but that's also based off, your income as far as how much you get out of that stimulus as an adult. So if you're eligible to get that check, once you get it, what you want to do is you definitely want to take care of the essential things. If there's any medical needs, if there's, food or whatever you need to do to take care of your family, and then you can start looking at, well, what is it that you can do to maybe take care of your bills. Now, I'm a big advocate that it doesn't matter what comes in, no matter what comes in, that you should always save something. So if it's really, really tight, I understand, try to save at least $50, save at least $100, save some type of percentage and put it to the side. But the real kicker is where you can flip the script, is where these unemployment benefits come in. So if you don't know that the unemployment benefits right now, it's adding an extra $600 per week to people who have lost their jobs, or their jobs been affected, their work's been affected, etc. So they have one that's for the CARES Act, which is for more of your 1099 folks, like your contractors, your self-employed, gig workers, and things like that. And then you have your regular benefits, which is like when someone just loses a job. And so within that, they're giving $600 in benefits per week to individuals who have been affected, and even some to, I guess it depends maybe on your state, for those that are on Social Security as well. So let's say you lost your job and you already filed unemployment, and you start to be able to collect some unemployment. So let's say the unemployment may be something like maybe $200 or $300, a week. Now, granted, yes, normal unemployment is not necessarily enough, but it is something, versus nothing. So if you're getting something, just, be grateful that you're getting something, even though it may not be enough. You can still take that little bit and make it work for you. So now the kicker comes in is with this stimulus bill is that now you can start to get an extra $600 a week for that. And I think you can get up to, a total of like maybe 39 weeks. I don't think that has yet started yet because the stimulus bill was just signed into Congress like last week. So, it takes them time to get all these things going, make system changes, make all these different changes they need to make, and with the social distancing and things like that, I'm sure they don't have the offices crowded full of people, so it might just go a little slower, but I'm sure they're working diligently. At least I hope so. But once that $600 a week starts to come in, it's supposed to come in on top of your benefits. In the wording it says an additional. So let's say if you were getting something like $200 a week for an example, and then you're getting an extra $600 a week, now you're getting $800 a week. Now $800 a week, if you did that for 52 weeks, that's a total of like $41,600. And that's more than what a lot of people make. So essentially you could actually have more money coming in right now than you did before when you were working as, at a restaurant or as a server or whatever the case. Now, the goal is not to become dependent and to become lazy and things like that. The goal is to be able to use this time to be able to benefit yourself. So if you're still looking for work, great. If you're waiting for things to be over so you can get back to your job, whatever the case is, then fine. But don't get dependent and don't get lackluster, don't get lazy, and don't just sit back and feel like, I'm collecting the check and just get lazy pretty much. Because when this is over, you're going to have to start getting back to work. Okay. So, but the goal is to be able to take this time for however long it lasts. And if you're able to collect those benefits because you can't go back to work, etc., then now you can actually take that to work for you. So if you're making $800 a week, that's more than what most people make on average. So you can use that $800 a week and start to put some things in place. $800 a week, that's $3,200 in 1 month. So like I said, so if you're writing your bills down, and let's say your monthly expenditures plus your rent or whatever the case is, however the situation is, whatever you have to put out each month to pay bills, then you want to know what that number is typically. So let's say it's like around $1,500 or it's around $2,000 or maybe it's even less. So if you're bringing in $3,200 a month and the money that you're putting out or you have to put out each month is like $1,500 or like $2,000, then you can see that you have significantly some money that's left over. Now, granted, you have this money left over. What you don't want to do is you don't want to get spend crazy and start thinking like, I'm about to live it up and let me buy more stuff. No, this is a time where you definitely want to minimize spending your money. I know people want you to spend your money. I know the government wants you to spend your money. I know the economy wants your money, but this is time where you minimize spending your money. So let's say, just off of the example, if you're bringing in $3,200 a month, but you have to put out $2,000 a month or whatever the case is, and then you have $1,200 left, $1,200 left, then what you want to do is you want to now start to take that money that's left and start to divvy that money up. What I mean divvy that money up is like, say, basically you can actually start to save that money. You can save 50% of that, and then you can have the other half for whatever other things you need. Or you can take 80% of that, or take all of that that's left over and just save it. Make sure you got food in the house, things like that, and take the rest and you can stuff it into your savings account or put it into an emergency fund. So what you want to do is you want to be able to start paying down your bills. All right. So depending on the situation you have, you can customize, like what I'm saying, to your own self, to your own situation. So this is just an example. So if you're unemployed for the next 3 months or the next 4 months, and you're able to have like an extra $1,200 a month, like we talked about, or the extra $1,000 a month that we talked about, if you save all of that, then you'll have, if it's 4 months, then you'd have, $4,800 that you've now be able to put to the side that you never had before. So see what happens with most people when they see more money, all of a sudden they don't take into account, they don't budget, they don't pay attention to their spending and things like that. All of a sudden they get Amazon happy. All of a sudden they get happy to eat out all the time and things like that, and that starts to eat away from the profits that you're making or the whatever's left, because I don't know if we want to call it profit, but the benefits, whatever's left, etc. So all I'm simply saying is we can actually be able to use this time and use that type of strategy. Now you can create the strategy based off of whatever your situation is, but being able to use a strategy like that to actually be able to now take money and be able to put it to the side of whatever else you need, it can kind of help you get ahead. So once these things are over, you come out of this with thousands of dollars saved on the side that you didn't have before. It's just that you have to make sure that you don't get lazy, because what happens is once this thing is over, once these things have subsided and things have started to get back to whatever new normal it will, then you're going to have to go back to work. You're going to have to start looking for a job. That's why I said don't get lazy, because when it's over, it's over. And the last thing you want to do is to be in a position or to be in a mindset to where you don't want to work, or you've done conked out, and now it's time to get back to work, and now all the money that you've saved during that time, or if you put to the side, now all of a sudden you need it because you're just unmotivated. So stay motivated, stay inspired. It's not the time to get lazy. Yes, it's a rough time, but within these times, there's always an opportunity. And so there's the opportunity to where you have the opportunity to be able to make more money or get more money, than you did before with these benefits and things that are happening. Just don't do what most people are going to do. Most people are going to blow the extra and excess money that they're getting, especially if they have a situation like that. So that's all I wanted to do, guys. That's all I wanted to talk to you about. Just kind of shed some insight, and so you can kind of see what's happening. So yes, you may have been going through a rough time, or you're going through a rough time right now, but as things start to come, full circle, and these benefits and things start to roll out, there is some silver lining, and that's what you want to do. Is you want to grab onto that and be able to use it and make it work to your situation. In the same instance, being able to maybe build an emergency fund, be able to invest whatever it is that you choose to do with that access money. I would suggest saving most of it, kind of putting it to the side, But anywho, hope this gives you some type of thought or something to think around, to say, let me start writing out and let me see how I can start to make these things work for me. Anyways, guys, so I'll talk to you in the next video. You guys enjoy. Have a great day. I'm praying for you if you've been affected. I'm praying that everybody's been safe, and you guys stay at home, do what you got to do, so that way we can get out of this a lot quicker. Peace.